The stars looked cold and distant from the bridge of the USS Defiant. Captain Lisa Howard stood with her hands clasped behind her back, watching the main screen. The display showed a red dot moving slowly across a star map. That dot was Death itself, the main ship of the Zorian fleet. Lisa rubbed her tired eyes. She hadn't slept well in weeks, not since Earth fell. The memory of watching her home planet burn still haunted her dreams. The Zorians had come without warning, their crystal ships appearing near Mars before anyone could sound an alarm. Within days, Earth's defenses had failed. Within a week, the blue planet was no more. "Captain," a voice called from behind her, "you should get some rest." Lisa turned to see Jack Miller at the tactical station. The young lieutenant's face showed the same exhaustion that plagued the entire crew. "I'll rest when our people are safe," she said. "What's the status of the Zorian fleet?" Jack tapped his screen. "Still on course for Proxima Centauri. At their current speed, they'll reach the colony in about 3 days. Lisa nodded slowly. Proxima Centauri was the last major human settlement, home to nearly 10,000 people. After the fall of Earth, Mars, and the other colonies, these were the last humans gathered in one place. Everyone else was scattered on small outposts or aboard the few ships that had escaped, and the Defiant was the only warship left. "Where's Olivia?" Lisa asked. "Science lab," Jack replied. "She's still studying the data from our last scan of their ships." Lisa walked to the elevator at the back of the bridge. "You have the bridge, Lieutenant. I'll be in the science lab." The doors slid shut and Lisa leaned against the wall. For a moment she allowed herself to feel the weight of command. The fate of humanity might rest on her choices in the coming days. She took a deep breath, straightened her uniform, and stepped out when the doors opened again. The science lab was a mess of screens and equipment. Olivia Grant sat surrounded by displays showing strange crystal formations and energy readings. Her curly hair was tied back messily and empty coffee cups littered her desk. "Please tell me you have good news," Lisa said. Olivia jumped slightly, then turned. "Captain, I didn't hear you come in." She pointed to one of the screens. "I've been studying their ships. The crystal structure isn't just for show, it's how they communicate. Each ship is like a node in a network, with the mothership acting as the central brain." "Can we use that against them?" Lisa asked. "Maybe." Olivia pulled up another display. "Their ships work together perfectly, like they're all parts of one organism. But that might be a weakness. If we could disrupt the signal between ships..." The ship's comm system interrupted them. "Captain Howard to the bridge. Emergency situation." Lisa and Olivia exchanged worried looks before rushing back to the elevator. When they reached the bridge, the mood had changed. The calm focus was gone, replaced by urgent activity at every station. "Report," Lisa ordered as she took her seat in the command chair. Sam Wilson, her executive officer, turned from his console. "We just received a distress call from Proxima Centauri. The Zorians have changed course and increased speed. They'll reach the colony within hours, not days." Lisa felt her stomach drop. "How is that possible?" "Their ships have never shown that kind of speed before." "Unknown," Sam said, "but the colony's sensors confirm it. They're coming, and fast." Lisa turned to the navigation officer. "Kelly, how quickly can we reach Proxima Centauri?" Kelly Rodriguez, the youngest officer on the bridge, worked her console rapidly. "At maximum speed without using the phase shift drive? 9 hours, Captain." "And with the phase shift?" Kelly hesitated. 3 hours, but Dr. Carter warned us not to use it again so soon after the last jump. The system needs time to cool down, or it could overload." Lisa tapped her comm badge. "Bridge to engineering. Alan, I need the phase shift drive ready in 10 minutes. The voice of Dr. Alan Carter came through, sounding stressed. "Captain, I strongly advise against it. The drive needs at least 6 more hours of cooling or we risk a catastrophic failure." "Those colonists don't have 6 hours," Lisa replied firmly. "Make it work, Doctor. Howard out." She turned to face her bridge crew. "Prepare for phase shift. All hands to battle stations." The red alert klaxon sounded throughout the ship. Crew members rushed to their posts, securing equipment and preparing for what might be their final fight. In engineering, Alan Carter and his team worked frantically on the phase shift drive. The experimental system allowed the Defiant to partially shift between dimensions, making the ship nearly impossible to track. It had been designed for deep space exploration, not as a weapon of war, but it was now their greatest advantage. The coolant system can't handle another shift, Alan's assistant warned. Alan wiped sweat from his forehead. Then we'll route power through the secondary systems. It'll burn them out, but it might buy us enough time. On the bridge, Lisa studied the tactical display. The Zorian fleet was massive, dozens of crystal ships surrounding one enormous mothership. The Defiant was just one vessel, not even designed for combat. But it had two advantages: the phase shift drive and a crew with nothing left to lose. "Captain," Jack called out, "Colony defense grid is activating, but their weapons are minimal. They won't last an hour against that fleet." Lisa nodded grimly. "Send a message to the colony. Tell them help is coming. Tell them to hold on." She stood and addressed her crew. "I won't lie to you. We're outnumbered and outgunned. The Zorians have crushed every planet they've encountered. But they haven't met us yet. They haven't faced human determination. They think we're beaten. But as long as one ship flies, as long as one human stands, we are not defeated." She turned to Kelly. "Set course for Proxima Centauri, maximum speed. Prepare for phase shift on my mark." The bridge crew turned to their stations with renewed focus. The ship hummed as power built in its engines. "Phase shift ready," Kelly reported. "Warning, drive stability at 67% and falling." "That's enough," Lisa said. She took her seat and gripped the armrests. "Engage." The stars on the main screen blurred as the Defiant slipped between dimensions. The ship shuddered, lights flickering as the overtaxed system struggled to maintain the shift. In 3 hours, they would either save the last human colony or join the billions already lost. And if they failed, the Zorians would complete their mission, the extinction of humanity. Lisa Howard had no intention of letting that happen. The phase shift was violent. The USS Defiant shook as it moved between normal space and something else entirely. Warning lights flashed on every console. In engineering, Alan Carter and his team raced to keep the experimental drive from tearing the ship apart. "Coolant leak in Section 4. An engineer shouted above the noise of straining metal. Alan grabbed a repair kit and rushed to the damaged section. The phase shift drive glowed with an unnatural blue light that hurt the eyes if you looked at it too long. It wasn't supposed to run this hot or this long. The drive had been built for quick jumps, not sustained travel. "Bypass the main coolant line," Alan ordered as he worked. "Route it through the backup systems." On the bridge, Captain Lisa Howard gripped her chair as another violent shake threatened to throw her to the floor. The main screen showed a swirling mass of light and color as the ship passed between dimensions. "Status report," she demanded. Sam Wilson checked his console. "Hull integrity at 82% and dropping. The phase shift is putting too much strain on the outer sections of the ship." "How much longer?" Lisa asked. Kelly Rodriguez didn't look up from her navigation controls. Her hands moved quickly, making constant adjustments. 1 hour, 40 minutes to Proxima Centauri, Captain, but the drive stability is down to 41%. Lisa tapped her comm badge. "Bridge to engineering. Alan, we need more stability." "I'm doing everything I can, Captain." Alan's voice came back, strained. "But we're pushing the drive beyond its limits. We need to drop back to normal space soon or we risk a complete system failure." Lisa frowned. They needed to reach the colony quickly, but not at the cost of destroying their only ship. "How long can we safely maintain the phase shift?" 30 minutes, Alan replied. "Maybe 40 if we're lucky." Lisa made her decision. "We'll stay in phase shift for 30 more minutes, then drop to normal space. That should put us close enough to reach the colony in time." She closed the channel and turned to Olivia, who was analyzing data from the colony's distress call. "What are we facing when we arrive?" Olivia looked up from her screen. "The colony reports at least 20 Zorian ships. Their defense grid is holding for now, but they're losing ground quickly." Jack Miller spoke up from Tactical. Our weapons weren't designed to fight the Zorians. The standard phasers barely scratch their crystal hulls. Then we'll have to be smarter, Lisa said. Olivia, what do we know about their ships? Any weaknesses? Olivia pulled up the data they had gathered during the fall of Earth. Their crystal structure makes them nearly immune to our energy weapons, but it has a resonance frequency. If we could match it, we might be able to disrupt their systems. Can we modify our weapons to hit that frequency? Lisa asked. Olivia nodded. Slowly. Maybe. I'd need to work with Alan in engineering. Do it, Lisa ordered. Sam, you have the bridge. Olivia followed Lisa to the elevator. As they descended toward engineering, another violent shake sent them against the wall. That didn't feel good, Olivia said, rubbing her shoulder. No, it didn't, Lisa agreed. The ship seemed to be fighting against the phase shift now, like a swimmer struggling against a strong current. When they reached engineering, they found organized chaos. Engineers rushed between stations trying to keep systems online as alarms blared. Alan was elbow-deep in an open panel, his face streaked with grease. Alan, we need to talk about the Zorian ships, Lisa called over the noise. Alan looked up, his expression grim. Can it wait? We're about to lose the starboard power couplings. As if to emphasize his point, a shower of sparks burst from a nearby console. An engineer rushed over with a fire extinguisher. It can't wait, Lisa insisted. Olivia has an idea to modify our weapons, but we need your help. Before Alan could respond, the ship lurched violently. The overhead lights went out, replaced by dim emergency lighting. The phase shift drive's blue glow flickered and died. We've lost the drive, Alan shouted, rushing to the main console. We've dropped back to normal space. Lisa tapped her comm badge. Bridge, report. Sam's voice came through, filled with static. We've exited phase shift, Captain. All systems are rebooting. We're approximately 1 hour from Proxima Centauri at maximum normal speed. Lisa turned to Alan. Can we get the phase shift back online? Alan shook his head. Not a chance. The main emitter array is fried. We'll need a space dock to repair it, and there aren't any of those left. Lisa's mind raced. They were still too far away to help the colony with conventional engines. They needed another plan. Olivia, explain your weapon modification idea to Alan. I'm going back to the bridge. When Lisa reached the bridge, the situation had stabilized somewhat. The main power was back online, though several systems were still down. Damage report, she ordered. Jack looked up from his console. We've lost the phase shift drive completely. Weapons are at 60% power, shields at 72%. And the colony? Lisa asked. Sam brought up the long-range sensors. They're still fighting, but they've lost 3 of their 7 defense platforms. At this rate, they'll be overrun before we arrive. Lisa studied the tactical display. The Defiant was just 1 ship against 20. They couldn't win in a direct fight, but maybe they didn't have to. Kelly, set a course for the Proxima Centauri asteroid belt, maximum speed, she ordered. Kelly looked confused but entered. The commands. Course laid in, Captain, but that takes us away from the colony. Only temporarily, Lisa assured her. Jack, ready all weapons. I want to fire the moment we're in range. At what target, Captain? Jack asked. We'll still be too far from the Zorian ships. Not the ships, Lisa said. The asteroids. Understanding dawned on Sam's face. You're going to create a diversion, Lisa nodded. More than that, we're going to change the battlefield. Her comm badge chirped. Engineering to bridge. Captain, Olivia and I think we've found a way to modify the forward phasers to match the Zorian resonance frequency. How long? Lisa asked. 20 minutes, Alan replied. But it's risky. We'll only get 1 shot before the emitter burns out. Do it, Lisa ordered. We'll need every advantage we can get. She turned back to the main screen, which now showed the approaching asteroid belt. It was a desperate plan, but they were out of options. The fate of 10,000 colonists, and possibly the human race itself, depended on what happened in the next hour. All hands, prepare for battle, Lisa announced over the ship-wide comm. This is what we've been training for. The Zorians think humans are finished. Today we prove them wrong. The USS Defiant raced toward the asteroid belt that circled the Proxima Centauri system. On the bridge, Captain Lisa Howard watched as the distance closed. Every minute counted now. The colony's last transmission reported 3 defense platforms remaining, with Zorian ships already landing troops on the outer settlements. "Time to asteroid belt?" Lisa asked. 4 minutes, Captain," Kelly replied from the navigation station. Lisa nodded and turned to Jack at tactical. "Are the weapons ready?" "Forward phasers modified as requested," Jack confirmed. "But as Alan warned, we'll only get a few shots before the emitters burn out." "Make them count," Lisa said. She tapped her comm badge. "Bridge to engineering. Alan, how are those modifications coming?" Alan's tired voice came through. "Just finished, Captain. Olivia's calculations were spot on. The phasers should now hit the Zorian ships at their resonance frequency. But I have to warn you, this is completely untested. We're about to test it," Lisa replied. "Stand by." The asteroid belt appeared on the main screen. Thousands of rocks ranging from the size of a fist to small moons. Beyond it, barely visible, were the lights of the human colony and the crystal shapes of the Zorian fleet. "Scan the largest asteroids," Lisa ordered. "Find ones with high metal content." Sam worked quickly at his console. "Got several candidates, Captain. Marking them on the tactical display now." Red dots appeared on the screen, highlighting specific asteroids. "Target the first one," Lisa commanded. Full phaser spread. Jack targeted the weapons. "Ready, Captain." "Fire." The ship's phasers lashed out, striking the large asteroid. The rock didn't explode as expected. Instead, it began to glow with a strange blue light, the same color as the phase shift drive. "What's happening?" Sam asked, staring at the readings on his console. Olivia rushed to the science station. "The modified phasers are causing some kind of reaction with the metal in the asteroid. It's building up an energy charge." "Target the next asteroid," Lisa ordered. Same pattern. The Defiant fired again and again, charging 5 large asteroids, before a warning alert sounded from the tactical station. "Phaser emitters overheating, Captain," Jack reported. "We can't fire again without risking a burnout." Lisa nodded. It would have to be enough. "Kelly, plot a course through the belt. Full impulse." "Through the belt?" Kelly's eyes widened. "At full impulse? That's incredibly dangerous." "So are the Zorians," Lisa replied firmly. "Do it." Kelly set the course, her hands moving quickly over the controls. The Defiant shot forward, weaving between the asteroids at a speed that made safe navigation nearly impossible. "The Zorians have spotted us," Sam announced. 3 ships breaking off from the colony to intercept. Lisa smiled grimly. That was exactly what she wanted. "Jack, activate the tractor beam. Target the first charged asteroid as we pass." The Defiant raced through the asteroid belt, dodging the larger rocks by mere meters. When they approached the first charged asteroid, Jack activated the tractor beam. The blue glowing rock was pulled into the ship's wake, following behind them like a deadly tail. "Second asteroid coming up," Jack called out. "Grab it too," Lisa ordered. One by one, the Defiant collected the charged asteroids. The ship's engines strained against the added mass but held. The pursuing Zorian ships were closing fast. "They're in weapons range," Sam warned. "Hold course," Lisa ordered. "Take us straight toward the main Zorian fleet." The Defiant burst out of the asteroid belt, with 5 glowing rocks trailing behind it. The main viewer showed the colony ahead, with the crystal ships of the Zorian fleet surrounding it like predators. "The 3 ships are still pursuing," Jack reported. "They're firing." The ship shook as energy beams struck their shields. "Shields at 60%, Sam called out. "We can't take many more hits like that." "We won't have to," Lisa said. "Kelly, on my mark, make a sharp turn toward the colony." Jack released the tractor beam at the same moment. She waited until the pursuing ships were directly behind them. "Closing fast, now!" The Defiant veered sharply. The tractor beam disengaged and the 5 charged asteroids continued straight ahead, right into the path of the pursuing Zorian ships. The collision was spectacular. The charged asteroids struck the crystal ships with tremendous force. But it wasn't the impact that did the most damage. When the asteroids touched the crystal hulls, the energy charge transferred, creating a cascade of blue light that spread. "Across the ships, direct hit," Jack shouted. Olivia stared at her readings in amazement. The resonance effect is spreading through their crystal structure. It's disrupting their entire network. On the screen, the 3 Zorian ships began to drift, their perfect formation breaking apart as blue energy coursed through their hulls. "The rest of the fleet has noticed," Sam reported. "They're turning away from the colony to engage us." Lisa hadn't expected her trick to work so well. The modified phasers had created a resonance effect that interfered with the Zorians' crystal-based communications. The charged asteroids had delivered that effect straight to their ships. "Open a channel to the colony," Lisa ordered. The colonies. Defense coordinator appeared on screen, his face dirty and tired. "Captain Howard, we thought no one was coming." "The cavalry's here," Lisa replied, "but we need your help. Can you get your remaining defense platforms online?" "Yes, but they're almost out of power," the coordinator said. "Target the Zorian ships that come near you," Lisa instructed. "We'll handle the main fleet." As the communication ended, the Defiant turned to face the approaching Zorian vessels. There were at least 15 of them with the massive mothership hanging back. "Captain, we can't fight them all," Sam said quietly. "We don't need to beat them all," Lisa replied. "Just the mothership. Olivia, what have you learned about their network?" Olivia looked up from her console. "The mothership is definitely the central node. All commands flow from it. The smaller ships are like extensions of its will. So if we take out the mothership," Lisa began. "The entire fleet might be disrupted," Olivia finished. Alan's voice came through the comm system. "Captain, I've been studying the resonance effect. If we could get close enough to the mothership to deliver a direct hit with one of those charged asteroids, it might create a system-wide failure. But we don't have any more charged asteroids," Jack pointed out. "No," Lisa agreed, "but we have something better." She looked around at her crew, knowing what she was about to suggest was incredibly dangerous. "We have our ship." Sam understood first. "You want to charge the Defiant with the resonance effect?" "Captain, that could destroy us too." "Not if we time it right," Lisa said. She tapped her comm badge. "Alan, can you modify the deflector dish to generate the same resonance frequency as our modified phasers?" There was a pause before Alan responded. "Yes, but it would mean channeling massive power through systems that weren't designed for it. We'd need to get very close to the mothership, and we'd have maybe 10 seconds before our systems overload." 10 seconds is all we need," Lisa said. She turned to Kelly. "Set a course for the mothership. Maximum speed." The Defiant shot forward, heading straight for the heart of the Zorian fleet. The Defiant raced toward the Zorian mothership. Smaller enemy vessels moved to intercept, their crystal hulls gleaming in the light of Proxima Centauri's sun. "Incoming fire!" Jack warned from the tactical station. The ship shook as energy beams struck their shields. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. "Shields at 42%, Sam reported. "Another direct hit and they'll fail completely." Lisa gripped her chair. "Evasive pattern Delta. Kelly, keep us moving toward the mothership no matter." "What?" Kelly's hands flew over her console, making the Defiant dance between enemy attacks. Most missed, but some found their target. In engineering, Alan and his team worked frantically to modify the deflector dish. Power cables snaked across the floor as they bypassed safety systems and rerouted energy from non-essential areas of the ship. "This is insane," Alan muttered as he made the final connections. "We're essentially turning the ship into a giant resonance bomb." His assistant looked worried. "Will it work?" Alan shrugged. "In theory, or it might tear us apart. 50-50 chance." On the bridge, Olivia monitored the approaching mothership. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy readings from the mothership. I think they recognize what we're trying to do." As if to confirm her words, the smaller Zorian ships suddenly changed tactics. Instead of firing weapons, they began to position themselves between the Defiant and the mothership, forming a protective barrier. "They're shielding it," Sam observed. Lisa nodded. "They know it's their weak point." She turned to Jack. "Target those blocking ships. Use whatever weapons we have left." The Defiant fired its remaining phasers and torpedoes. Some found their mark, but there were too many Zorian ships. For every one they damaged, 2 more took its place. "We can't break through," Jack said, frustration clear in his voice. Lisa stared at the screen, thinking quickly. Then an idea came to her. What if we don't need to break through? Olivia, would the resonance effect propagate through their crystal network? Olivia's eyes widened as she understood. If they're all connected in a network and we can disrupt one ship with enough power. Yes, it might cascade through to the mothership. Lisa tapped her comm badge. Bridge to engineering. Alan, change of plans. Can you configure the deflector dish to target any Zorian ship with the resonance frequency? Any ship? Yes, that's actually easier, Alan replied. But the principle is the same. We'll only have seconds before our systems overload. Understood. Stand by. Lisa turned to Kelly. Get us as close as possible to the nearest Zorian vessel. The Defiant changed course, heading for the closest enemy ship. The Zorians seemed confused by this new tactic. Their perfect formation briefly disrupted. They're adjusting, Sam warned. Bringing weapons to bear. Shields at 31%, Jack added. Lisa felt a moment of doubt. Was she risking her ship and crew on a plan that might not work? But she pushed the thought aside. If they did nothing, humanity would fall. Some risks were worth taking. Distance to nearest Zorian ship? She asked. 1,000 meters and closing, Kelly reported. 500 meters will be optimal for the resonance effect, Olivia said. The ship rocked as another energy beam struck their weakened shields. Shields. At 19%, Sam called out. One more hit and they're gone. Almost there, Kelly said, her voice steady despite the danger. 700 meters. 600. Another hit. The bridge lights flickered. Shields failing, Jack shouted. 500 meters, Kelly announced. Lisa didn't hesitate. Alan, now! In engineering, Alan slammed his hand down on the activation. Control. Power surged through the modified deflector dish. The entire ship groaned under the strain as energy built up to impossible levels. On the bridge, the main viewer showed the nearest Zorian ship, suddenly glowing with the same blue light they had seen on the charged asteroids. The effect spread across its crystal hull like cracks in ice. It's working, Olivia exclaimed, watching her readings. The resonance is disrupting their crystal structure. The blue light jumped from the first Zorian ship to those nearest to it, then to the next and the next. Like a wave, it spread through the fleet, each ship glowing as the effect touched it. The network is carrying the disruption, Olivia said, her voice filled with wonder. It's reaching the mothership. On the screen they watched as the massive Zorian mothership began to glow blue. The effect seemed stronger there, the light brighter and more intense. Captain? Alan's voice came through, the comm system strained and urgent. Our systems are overloading. We need to shut down the deflector now or we'll lose the ship. Lisa didn't take her eyes off the mothership. Just a few more seconds. The mothership's glow intensified. Small explosions erupted across its surface. As the resonance tore through its systems. Captain, Alan warned again. Now, Alan, shut it down. The ship lurched as the deflector dish powered down. Systems across the Defiant failed as circuit breakers tripped to prevent a complete meltdown. Damage report, Lisa ordered, picking herself up from the floor where the final lurch had thrown her. Sam checked his console, which was only partially working. Power at 30%, weapons offline, engines at minimal capacity. But we're still here. Lisa looked at the main viewer. It showed a remarkable sight. The Zorian mothership was drifting, its perfect crystal structure now cracked and dark in places. Around it, the smaller ships moved erratically like insects that had lost their queen. The resonance worked, Olivia said, her voice filled with disbelief. We disrupted their entire command network. The colony is hailing us, Jack announced. Lisa straightened her uniform. On screen, the colony's defense coordinator appeared, his face showing a mix of exhaustion and joy. Captain Howard, I don't know what you did, but the Zorian troops on the ground suddenly stopped fighting. They're just standing there. They've lost their connection to the mothership, Lisa explained. Their network is down. So we won? The coordinator asked, hardly daring to believe it. Lisa looked at the drifting Zorian ships. For now. But we need to act quickly while they're disabled. Can you get your people to safety? We have bunkers beneath the main settlement, the coordinator said. But what about you? Your ship looks pretty beat up. Lisa glanced around her damaged bridge. We'll manage. Get your people secure. We're not done yet. As the communication ended, Sam approached Lisa. What's our next move, Captain? We barely have enough power to maintain life support, let alone fight. Lisa stared at the mothership. It was damaged but not destroyed. Already some of the smaller ships were beginning to move with more purpose, their systems recovering. The Zorians will adapt, she said quietly. They always do. We've bought time, but we need to finish this. She tapped her comm badge. Bridge to engineering. Alan, I need options. What can we still do with what we have left? There was a pause before Alan answered. There might be one possibility. It's a long shot, but what if we could use what's left of our phase shift drive? I thought it was completely fried, Lisa said. The main emitter is, Alan confirmed, but the core is still intact. If we could get close enough to the mothership, we might be able to trigger a controlled overload. The resulting phase shift bubble could send that ship elsewhere. Lisa understood what he wasn't saying. Such a plan would require someone to stay with the ship until the very end. How close would we need to get? She asked. Practically touching, Alan replied. Lisa looked around at her exhausted crew. They had already given so much. Could she ask for more? As if reading her thoughts, Sam spoke up. We all volunteered for this mission, Captain. We knew the risks. One by one, the bridge crew nodded their agreement. Lisa felt a fierce pride in her people. All right then, Kelly, plot a course for the mothership. Let's finish this. The damaged Defiant limped toward the Zorian mothership. The enemy fleet was still disorganized, but signs of recovery were appearing. Some of the smaller ships had begun to move with purpose again, their systems slowly adapting to the disruption. How much time do we have? Lisa asked. Olivia studied her readings. The resonance effect is fading. I'd estimate 20 minutes, maybe less, before they regain full control. Lisa nodded. Then we need to move quickly. She turned to Sam. Evacuate all non-essential personnel to the escape pods. Set them on a course for the colony. Sam looked shocked. Captain? This is a volunteer mission from here on, Lisa said firmly. I won't order anyone to stay. Understanding spread across Sam's face. I'll handle the evacuation. As Sam left the bridge, Lisa turned to the others. Anyone who wants to leave should go now. What we're about to do. She paused. There's a good chance we won't survive. Jack shook his head. I'm staying, Captain. Me too, Kelly said without hesitation. Olivia nodded her agreement. Someone needs to monitor the phase shift core. Lisa felt a surge of pride. Thank you. Let's make sure humanity remembers what happened here today. Throughout the ship, crew members made their choices. Some headed for the escape pods, knowing that someone needed to survive to tell the story. Others remained at their posts, determined to see the mission through. In engineering, Alan worked furiously to prepare the phase shift core for its final task. When Sam arrived to coordinate the evacuation, Alan didn't even look up. I'm not leaving, he said simply. Sam didn't argue. How's it coming? Alan wiped sweat from his forehead. I've bypassed the safety protocols. Once we initiate the overload, we'll have about 3 minutes before the core creates a phase shift bubble. Anything inside that bubble will be shifted out of our dimension, including us, Sam noted. Alan nodded grimly. Including us. On the bridge, Lisa watched as escape pods launched from the ship, streaking toward the colony. About half the crew had chosen to leave. The rest remained, knowing what was at stake. Distance to mothership? Lisa asked. 5,000 meters in closing, Kelly reported. Their defensive systems are still offline, but some of their engines appear to be powering up. They're trying to retreat, Jack observed. Lisa shook her head. We can't let that happen. If they escape, they'll regroup and return with an even larger fleet. Her comm badge chirped. Engineering to bridge. Captain, we're ready down here. The core is prepped for overload. Good work, Alan, Lisa replied. Stand by. She turned to Olivia. How close do we need to be for the phase shift bubble to engulf the mothership? Olivia did some quick calculations. Given the size of their ship and the power we can generate, no more than 500 meters. That's cutting it close, Jack commented. If they get their weapons back online before we reach that point, Lisa nodded. Then we don't give them the chance. Kelly, full impulse, take us straight in. The Defiant surged forward, its engines straining under the demand. The distance to the mothership dropped rapidly. 4,000 meter, 3,000, 2,000. Captain, Jack called out. I'm detecting energy buildups in the mothership. They're bringing weapons back online. Time to contact? Lisa asked. 90 seconds at current speed, Kelly reported. Lisa turned to Sam, who had returned to the bridge. We need more speed. Sam checked his console. The engines are already at a 110% of recommended maximum. Pushing them further could cause them to fail. If we don't reach that ship in time, it won't matter, Lisa said. Divert power from life support if you have to. Just get us there. Sam didn't argue. He made the adjustments, and the ship lurched forward with increased speed. The mothership is firing, Jack warned. An energy beam lanced out from the Zorian vessel, striking the Defiant's already weakened hull. The ship shook violently, and alarms blared across the bridge. Hull breach on deck 3, Sam reported. Emergency force fields are holding. Distance? Lisa demanded. 1,000 meters, Kelly said. 30 seconds to optimal range. Another blast hit them. A console exploded in a shower of sparks, and smoke began to fill the bridge. 800 meters, Kelly continued, her voice steady, despite the chaos around her. 20 seconds. Lisa tapped her comm badge. Bridge to engineering. Alan, prepare to initiate core overload on my mark. Ready, Captain, Alan replied. His voice was calm, the voice of someone who had accepted what was coming. 600 meters. Kelly called out. 10 seconds. The mothership fired again. This time the beam struck the Defiant's engines. The ship lurched, then began to slow. Engine failure, Sam shouted. We're losing momentum. Kelly fought with her controls. 550 meters. We're not going to make it to the optimal range. Lisa made her decision. Close enough. Alan now. In engineering, Alan pressed the final sequence. The phase shift core began to pulse with blue light, the energy building rapidly as safety protocols were bypassed. Core overload initiated, Alan reported. 3 minutes to phase shift. On the bridge, Lisa stood tall despite the smoke and sparks. Jack, use whatever weapons we have left. Keep their attention on us. The Defiant fired its remaining torpedoes. They struck the mothership, causing minimal damage but ensuring the alien vessel wouldn't retreat. 2 minutes to phase shift, Alan's voice came through. Lisa turned to her remaining crew. It's been an honor serving with all of you. Sam nodded. For Earth. For humanity, Olivia added. The mothership fired again, the beam cutting deeper into the Defiant's hull. Systems failed across the ship, but it didn't matter now. Nothing could stop what was coming. 1 minute, Alan reported. The blue glow from the phase shift core spread throughout the ship. It reminded Lisa of the stars in Earth's night sky, a sight she had feared would be lost forever if they failed today. 30 seconds. Lisa stepped forward, staring at the image of the mothership on the damaged viewer. You destroyed our world, she said quietly, but you didn't destroy us. The blue light intensified, enveloping the bridge completely. Through it, they could see the mothership trying to move away, but it was too late. 10 seconds. Alan's voice came, barely audible above, the hum of the overloading core. Lisa closed her eyes. She thought of Earth, of the billions lost and of the colony they had saved today. Whatever happened next, humanity would survive. That was enough. The phase shift bubble expanded outward from the Defiant, engulfing both ships in its blue glow. For a moment, both vessels existed between dimensions, neither fully in this universe nor fully outside it. Then they were gone. From the colony on Proxima Centauri, the people watched in awe as both ships simply vanished. At the same instant, the remaining Zorian vessels powered down completely, their connection to the mothership severed forever. In the colony control center, the escape pod survivors from the Defiant gathered around communication consoles, trying desperately to contact their ship. There was no response. Days later, as the colony began to rebuild, a memorial service was held for the crew of the USS Defiant. A simple stone monument was erected, bearing the names of those who had stayed behind, and a single phrase that would be remembered for generations to come. They crushed every planet until a single human warship stood in their way. In the vast emptiness between dimensions, the Defiant and the Zorian mothership drifted, locked together for eternity. The battle was over. Humanity had survived. And somewhere in that strange realm between realities, Captain Lisa Howard and her crew had found a kind of immortality, not in life but in the memory of the people they had saved and the future they had secured. The Zorians had learned what so many others would learn in the centuries to come. Humans may fall, they may be pushed to the edge of extinction, but they never surrender, and sometimes, against all odds, they win.